Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back to SouFLoTV. If you've never been here before, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Welcome to 2022, and thank you for sticking with us through 2021 and into the new year. I wish you all the best, and I hope all your dreams come through. Prosperity, productivity, and progress is what we are into. Our first video for 2022. Let's talk about a story that we reviewed in 2021 when Dog Paw, a notorious man out of Jamaica, lost his life at the hands of the police in a shootout. And then, of course, 2022 would bring forth his funeral. That the security forces had gotten some information that they were going to parade Dog Paw's body around town before the burial, and they rushed out in their numbers to make sure that no such thing would have happened. Now, some people are going to say, why the hell would they want to parade his dead body around town? I don't think the headline gives it any justice. And I'm taking this one from, shout out to the Jamaica Observer, because that's what we do over here. We discuss trending news and topics. All right, so I just left Jamaica not too long ago, a couple of months back, putting my grandmother to rest. And my grandmother's church was quite a distance away from her home. And her home also has a plot of land on it where family members who pass away are buried. That is called the family burial plot. Okay. We drove her a long distance, so it would seem like we were driving around town parading her. But such was not the case. In some cases, it can be a case of give her or him their last ride. As in, you would take a scenic route that would go through their childhood days and their growing up days, or their favorite places as an adult. And you would drive around and through those places, say from the church service to the burial plot, etc. I'm thinking that is more like probably what Dog Paw's people wanted to do. However, that did not happen. The story says that police and soldiers yesterday crushed a plan to parade the body of slain gangster Christopher Dog Paw Linton through Tavern and neighboring communities in St. Andrew ahead of his interment at Dovecot Memorial Park in St. Catherine. The heavy presence of law enforcers began Thursday night when a wake being held for Linton was shut down, and many of those in attendance, including members of his family, were taken away by the police for processing. The police probably looked at it as some illegal party, or the police could have had some sympathy and be like, okay, y'all are doing your little goodbye thing, 9-night or a wake or whatever. We'll have some leniency, but they didn't. According to the reports, they took away some of the family members and brought them down for processing. Now, Thursday night's actions created tension that carried over into the day of the funeral, as livid residents and members of Dog Paw's family expressed disgust at the treatment that they received from the law enforcement officials. They said that lit candles at the wake were kicked over by police. So the police just walk in, kick over all the candles that were lit and burning. And the people that were in attendance, including senior citizens, they were roughed up and they were shouted at by the police, who they said used a lot of obscene language towards them. Put out the bomber cloth camera, put out the bomber cloth, candle them. Turn it off. Go in the house. Go in your bed. Come out of my blood clot way. One woman told the Jamaica Observer that not even music was being played that night when the security forces arrived. Just some candle burn, some people gathering, saying their last goodbyes, talking about memories of the individual, etc., etc. You have to remember, you know, gunman to me and you is somebody baby daddy, somebody father, somebody husband, somebody son, somebody something. So although we look at them as, you know, something disgusting or scourge of the earth, to somebody else. It's somebody's father. It's somebody that was loving. It's somebody that was worthy of their love and their attention and their time. So people see things in different light for many different reasons. See? So the police walking into Dog Paw's wake, kick over candles, allegedly according to these eyewitnesses, kicking over candles, cursing, bad word, telling them to move on, go inside, dragging away some of the family members for processing at the police station, etc., etc. It could be deemed as, yes, that's what they should get. He should get no wake, no burial, should have dashed him out to sea. You know how people talk already. But to others, it's something different. Now, yesterday morning, one man said that them come and them kick over the candle them, and them say if we put up any more of the candle them will kick out with teeth. Even when you call their supervisor, it's the same result you get. I think the funeral will have to be postponed because of the operations on Thursday night. That's the altercation. The community can't feel good about that, you know. I need to find out if there is a law that says that we cannot light candles. They need to cut out the foolishness, man. I think it is something personal against him. Well, listen, he died in a shootout with police. If you don't have to think if it's something personal against him. Plus, whether guilty or innocent, Dog Paw was pretty known of the notorious part. See? So despite some delay and uncertainty, the funeral got underway anyways. And it was held inside the chapel at Dovecot in the afternoon with more than 50 relatives and close friends who attended the funeral. Here is where it gets very interesting for me, and I need to hear my audience's comments. I need to see your comments in the comment section on this one. So, Leah Tavares Finson, the mother of one of Dog Paw's children and the daughter of Senate President Tom Tavares Finson, walked into the chapel with a bottle of Heineken beer. She was teary-eyed throughout the majority of her tribute to Dog Paw, whom she described as very loving and caring. See, I expressed that earlier. So, Leah would be the mother of his child, right? Or one of his children, if he has more children. They have a son together. However, over the years, this has always been argued, talked about, discussed, with a lot of contention from a lot of people, because a lot of people were saying, damn, Leah, look who your father is. Big, heavy top lawyer / top politician. You're talking about listen to his status. He is Senate President Tom Tavares Finson. Tom Tavares Finson's name rings bell all across the Caribbean, all across Jamaica for sure. Everybody knows who he is, right? Okay, Leah, you could have done better than that. You could have went and got somebody who was progressive and productive. And I've seen comments that says, is a white girl from uptown. We love black man, but she don't love no good black man. A gunman she want, and all these things. That's not my saying. That is what people been saying, right? So here is Leah. And Leah could have sat this one out. But again, this is the father of her son. So she decided to go to the funeral proceedings, and she stood up, braved the weather, gave her tribute to a man who she had years of relationship with and is bonded together for the rest of eternity through the making, birth, and raising of their child. See? But the part that they said that she walked into the chapel with a Heineken beer bottle in tow. I want you to just picture that in your head. church I go on and you know it's a funeral proceeding in a church and you walk in with a bottle, would your granny say that's okay? He's grieving. Would your mom or your dad say that's all right? Or somebody would have said, yo, put on the bottle outside. You're bright. Where do? Yo, you can't come in here with no bottle, man. It's church. You know, with a beer in a church. But that's how they're saying that Leah came in. She came in with a beer in the church. See? And for me, that's kind of weird. Kind of weird. Express to me in the comment section what you feel about that partner. Anyways, Leah said, there is no amount of Heineken I can drink to prepare for this. I have known Christopher since I was 17 years old, and we have a son together. And we have had relations in various capacities over the years. One of his favorite things to say was, oh my days. I never stopped hearing that for 18 years. That's an extensive time. When the phone rings and I answer it, all you hear is, baby mother. And you would know it is some request. He was such a loving, caring, and giving protector. He was my protector till death. And protector of the children, even my youngest child. Tavares Finson said in reference to the baby, who she shares with dancehall artist Jahvillani. Now, I must have been living under a rock or something, but I do remember somebody saying, SouFlo, you know, say a gunman, she like a recording artist and them thing there. She have a type, you know. And see there, she have picnic for Jahvillani. And I thought, nah, that must be a rumor, so I never really looked into it. Well, here it is printed in the Observer, so if it is wrong, hold the Observer accountable. But if it is true, then she has a child with Jahvillani. Jahvillani, if you all don't know, is a dancehall recording artist who was hot on the charts with his own version of Clark's, bust onto the scene, and he has been moving ahead, making big progress ever since. Now, he sings songs or carries an image that has many people labeling him as gunman, or one of the artists that keep gunmen around him, sing about gun busting and gunman lifestyle and all that. And again, they're saying, man, listen, you could have chose somebody better still, but you went and chose Jahvillani. I'm not saying nothing wrong about their relationship. I'm just saying I am kind of surprised that it's actually true that she does have a child by Jahvillani. But hey, people meet who they meet. They get into relationships and entanglements with whoever they choose, and such is life, you know. So the part about her speech, though, where she said he was my protector till death, that has a lot of people saying, yeah, and I bet you feel proud, protected by a gunman. This kind of leads to a conversation that we've had about, you know, in Jamaica, how things are set up. Who is secured and safe? Who works for who? In other words, then, poor people not secured and safe. Gunman come kick off your door anytime, kill you in there for all other kind of reasons, whether it's through jealousy or through somebody send a hit, or because they think that you have money inside of your little squabbles of a house, or because whatever. But people like Leah, the Tavares Finsons and these people, they're of the upper echelon of Jamaica, so they are very well protected. And some people will beg to argue that it's politicians. You see, just like how the new artist did his interview with Joshi, and when they asked Joshi about the crime situation in Jamaica, he said, the police them down a station create crime. Woo, that's a heavy statement. Not true in its entirety. I think what Joshi meant to say was there are corrupted police officers out here, and there are a lot of them out here, right? However, we don't talk about Joshua right now. We're talking about the argument that's going on in Jamaica that says a lot of these politicians have gunmen in their pockets. They work for gunmen, or vice versa. Gunman have politician in his pocket, politician have gunman in his pocket. He's well protected, right? Because most of the gunman them will kill for him. Some people even say the violence is orchestrated by a lot of these politicians who controls these garrison areas and these gangs and so on and so forth. That's the talk. So for Leah to get up at his funeral and say he was my protector until death, some people have taken it not as he was very protective of me. We had a child together and he was all about his child and he loved me very much, even though we didn't, our relationship didn't last as a couple throughout his entire lifespan, etc. But he was always protective of me. That's how I would take it. But I'm telling you that out on the streets, the conversation is much deeper. When she says he was my protector till death, people are thinking, yeah, gunman, I protect you and you're proud-eyed to uptown girl. Anyways, in this, I found out two things. That Jahvillani has a child with Nia, which is off the upper echelon of society in Jamaica, and he is not. So that's two worlds meeting, but she's no stranger to that because she also has a son with Dog Paw, and he is not off the upper echelon, and that's two worlds meeting as well. So I guess she does have a type, or I guess she does frequent certain circles which allows her to come into contact with a certain type, right? Either way, that is on them. Just a little FYI for those who are interested. So she went on to say that we're going to miss him, and this is a great loss to Tavern. No matter what anybody says, he was an amazing guy. He loved his community with all his heart. He loved Tavern. He lived and died for Tavern. People always want to understand how I ended up with Chris, she said, which is Dog Paw. But sometimes I think to myself, how did he end up with me? For 18 years, he was my best friend. I told him everything. Anytime I had to tell him anything that I know he wouldn't approve of, I just swallowed the cussing and then take maybe a 2-week probation off him not talking to me, she said. But she was able to tell him everything, and he was her best friend for 18 years. Again, people are going with this one. Oh, he was wanted at one time. So you miss upper echelon of society, you have gunman friend. It proves to the narrative then that they have gunman friend, gunman besties, gunman baby daddy, all these kind of things, right? In her eyes, he was not that. He was just a lover of his people and a protector of his community. Some people call that a Don. Linton's girlfriend, which is Crystal, she delivered the eulogy. So his baby moms was there, Leah, to say that he was her bestie for 18 years and she was able to tell him everything. And then with peace, these two women weren't fighting. They weren't disrespecting each other. She came and she delivered his eulogy. And she said that though times and seasons change, your memories will remain forever in our hearts. She said that Dog Paw, who was born on September 30th of 1986 at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital, he was actually raised in a humble Christian home along with his brothers. He enjoyed playing football, attending Sunday school, and watching cartoons. She said that the cartoon he loved the most was Paw Paw Bears, and his friends would often tell him that he resembled Dark Paw, one of the cartoon characters that led to him being given the nickname Dog Paw. Now you see, there's a more sinister explanation to how he came about with that name, people. And the funny thing about that is, we can look and we can say, yeah, Dog Paw. Them man call themselves dog. And Dog Paw, leave him dog mark any which part him go. But look at the simple place from which that name derived. The simple place. The man just loved to watch cartoons, and his favorite cartoon was Paw Paw Bears. And people used to say him look like one of the characters, resembled the one that was called Dark Paw, D-A-R-K, Paw, which explains now While Leah said when he first passed away, my pawpaw bear, my dark paw. And we thought, dark paw? Was she embracing the darkness of the underworld and the gangster life, Man, sometimes it really does not help to speculate because this is such an innocent way he got the name. He was known to his peers to be loving, kind-hearted, friendly, and a jovial individual, which undoubtedly made him a lot of friends. He had a passion for nature, which inspired him to become a proud member of his school's environment club. Christopher was very much involved with his Christian beliefs, and he decided to get baptized at the age of 10, she said. Linton, who police says was involved in several serious crimes before he was sent to prison, and continued on the path after he was released in April of 2021. He bust off the case and come back a road. He was shot dead by cops on John Golding Road in Elton Flats on October 11th of 2021 in what was reported as a firefight or gun battle with police. So all the story of how he was raised in a Christian home and he was very much involved with school. He was very much in touch with his Christian beliefs and all this other stuff. He was a lover of his people and a protector of his community. Paints a very different picture of the dog paw that the media gave to us, right? Now, the police had reported that a team of lawmen was searching for a gray vehicle with armed men riding in it. And in the process, they intercepted a vehicle which fit that description and had a female driver and a male passenger in it. Cops said that they instructed the occupants to exit the vehicle when 35-year-old Linton Dog Paw reportedly exited from the vehicle pointing a firearm at the cops. The police stated that they opened fire on Linton as soon as he pointed the firearm, and he was pronounced dead at University Hospital of the West Indies. A Colt .45 pistol was reportedly recovered from the scene. The female driver, whom the Observer sources have confirmed is an insurance agent, was not injured or hospitalized as a result of that incident. Now, of course, y'all must know that when Dog Paw was released, a lot of people were shocked, and a lot of people actually started saying in the streets again, when the streets talk, the streets talk. Doesn't mean that what the street is talking is true, but a lot of the times I find that when the streets talk, there is some kind of truth to it. You just have to sift it out. So when Dog Paw was released, I covered these stories, and I remember a lot of people saying, watch and see SouFlo. Kill them or go kill him soon. Them send him back out a road to kill him. Police or kill him, man. And I thought, let's see what happens. And before the year was out, he was released in April, and he was dead by what? October, November? So there you have it. There you have it. In all saying, let's just say this. His time has come and passed. He is no longer here. Those who loved him and were close to him continue to love him, and they will miss him because it was their family members, or their family member, I should say, and they hold all the fond memories. And some even like his brothers and siblings, they're connected by blood, right? And Leah and him, they're connected through a child. This must be very hard regardless, because sometimes you have gunman, and gunman children don't really know what his dad does or their dad does. They're able to keep the two lives separate. All they know is, why are people saying all this stuff about my dad? Because I don't see my dad like that. My dad's the type to watch cartoons with us, eat ice cream, be at the dinner table. We go places together. He makes us laugh a lot. They don't see other parts. In closing, let's say this. There are a lot of people who are convinced that Dog Paw did not draw a gun on the police. And he would not have drawn a gun on the police. If he wanted to be in police shootout, he would have done this a long time ago, right? He could have simply just been riding in the car. He was targeted, and they decided, oh, a dog paw, shot him up, and then put the gun upon him. Because that's also a common occurrence, allegedly, on the island of Jamaica, where police shoot up man, put the gun on them. Sometimes it is also said that the police is so frustrated with some criminals because they have high power friends and relatives and whatnot, and they're able to always beat the system because they have the resources to do so and the connections, so they can't get them off the street and they can't stop them from wreaking havoc, so they kill them. And once they kill them, then that's that. I find it very weird how his life ended, of course, but if that is how he came out, like pull out big gun on the police, he must have expected that this would have been the outcome. If that wasn't the outcome or the truth, and they actually really did kill him, then may Indicom do their job correctly, and whoever is investigating, and may the truth come to light one day. Alright? Either way, that is what it is, and we close this chapter on this story that we covered previously about Dog Paw. This is his burial and what happened there, and us finding out new information about Leah, like she have a child with Jahvillani, dancehall artist as well. And we'll close this chapter right here. Thank you for riding with us all throughout 2021. 2022 will be magnificent. Alright? Hold the faith. Keep your head up. Hit that subscribe button. And I'll catch you on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.